What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. Hey, if you're new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below the video where you're watching it. Turn your notifications on. I cover everything from video games to pop culture, movies, technology, all sorts of stuff like that. So it's a big variety that I hope will appeal to you. Now, the Last of Us 2 leak has led to some legendary memes, including, well, former Kotaku reporter Jason Schreyer getting completely destroyed on Twitter after trying to virtue signal about how leaks bad, even though his entire career is built off leaks. We'll get into that in just a minute, but let's take a look at this article from The Last of Us 2 leak leaves director heartbroken. But by now, you'll no doubt be aware that extremely spicy material from the anticipated PlayStation 4 exclusive The Last of Us 2 has leaked online. While the title has received a new release date as of today, the news has been overshadowed by the tidal wave of spoilers being shared on social media. It's made interacting with the release almost impossible. Nevertheless, the crushed director Neil Druckmann took time to go to Twitter to share a short message with fans. Heartbroken for the team, heartbroken for our fans. We're still incredibly excited to get the game into your hands. Now look, I don't like spoilers. I don't really want to put any direct spoilers in this video, and I won't intentionally do so, as far as at least my plan is as I'm recording it here. That said, if you want to avoid spoilers, it's tough if you spend a lot of time online, but I still haven't played Final Fantasy VII Remake. I bought it the day it came out. And while I have, and I cover video games for a portion of what I do here on The Quartering, and while I have had a few people say things to me here or there, I don't think it's going to spoil anything for me. There's parts of The Last Jedi and other Star Wars films that were quote-unquote spoiled for me beforehand. It didn't really ruin it for me. I hope if people are genuinely still excited for The Last of Us 2 and aren't, maybe they like the actual gameplay of it and they're not totally committed to only the story mode. I assume they'll still like the game. But what happened was, the narrative that was leaked kind of disappointed everybody. There was clearly a level of pandering in the story writing that didn't go over well with the people that were being pandered to, which is hilarious to me. Of course, those type of backfires are great. Now, I did actually have somebody email me and say, hey, the protagonist is gay. Why are you calling it woke? Does that mean it's just, that doesn't mean it's woke? I agree. Having a protagonist in the film that is gay is not necessarily woke, especially when it fits into the narrative. Did Naughty Dog do this as a virtue signal? Maybe, but not all. Like, for example, sharing a charitable donation. While maybe you get some clout off of it, it's still a charitable donation, and maybe they see it that way. Like, hey, they get to work on representation. That's important to them. They know that disingenuous media hacks will jump on that and say, game amazing, stunning, and brave. Now, he urged followers not to spoil the release for the next couple days, no matter what you see and hear. The final experience will be worth it. Of course, that hasn't stopped many from already drawing conclusions from out-of-context scenes. The good news is the title is at least have a release date now, which is the 19th of June. It was originally due out in February before being pushed back to May. Wow, they should have... if they were able to, by the way. If they were able to, I wonder if they're looking back now and thinking, whew, we should have released it in February. Now, Neil Druckmann is getting a lot of heat because he is behind a lot of the crunch that was going on there, and maybe he's not, the most likable character online. I don't know. I've never had any interactions with him, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But if we just look at some of the replies here, heartbroken because you took very like characters in Joel and Ellie and spat on them and the fans. What kind of company takes two beloved characters and not only... I don't want to read that. You can see this meme going around. The Last of Us Part 2, unpaid Naughty Dog employees. This was absolute gold. You can see he's deleting some people's tweets. Maybe they're people that are doing spoilers. You've got another great meme here, the Captain Crunch meme going on with the Crunch articles of Naughty Dog, which I think were published by Jason Schreier, which we're going to get to in a minute. I get the edgy approach you take to games. Love that. But there is a fine line between they'll never see this coming and why would they do this? And I'm afraid you have strayed way further than the latter than 98% of the base you built with these incredible characters wanted. Now, these are people reacting to the actual story, and a lot of people are drawing parallels to the last season of Game of Thrones. I dipped out of Game of Thrones, I think, maybe after the 5th or 6th season. It's really difficult for me to stay into a show for that long. To me, it's still baffling that The Walking Dead is still on the air. Maybe the show's still great. I don't know. I really genuinely don't. It's just, for me to be watching a TV show for many years, unless it's The Simpsons, and even then I don't watch that anymore because it's pretty basically zombie Simpsons now, but I will still watch reruns. You can see a lot of the memes. Neil, people hate Neil. And then this meme is also very, very, very great. So we've turned in a mini meme review here. You've got the Virgin Neil Druckmann versus the Chad angry employee. Over him, he's got overworks his staff, never acknowledges the controversy, doesn't pay his staff what their promised bonuses were, wasn't even there for Naughty Dog's golden years, so infamous, had to use movie animators for his video games, acts like he's solely responsible for The Last of Us success, and bully Amy Hennig out of the company. Versus the Chad angry employee. No one knows who did it, leaked tons of important story details, uploaded tons of the cutscenes to YouTube, likely also helped expose the horrid working conditions, stands up for his rights, saved tons of people money by exposing how bad The Last of Us 2 is going to be, and might save his coworkers from evil conditions of Naughty Dog. Another great Last of Us 2 meme. Oh, this is obviously a classic on the coffin. That's a classic meme. I like that. You got here, YouTube comments, tweet replies, Facebook comments, me avoiding The Last of Us 2 spoilers. All right, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And obviously there are fans of this game. And you can see a wide variety of articles. Don't link to Sausage Roll. That site is trash. But why are you here? For some of the instant regret of Jason Schreier. Let's see. Jason Schreier puts out yesterday. Former Kotaku, I think senior editor or something like that. And now he works at Bloomberg News, which is, of course, hilariously ironic for the anti-capitalism guy. Just catching up on the Naughty Dog story, and man, no matter how angry you are about workplace conditions or your pay or whatever else, leaking your whole game just hurts all the other people who were in the trenches with you. So many better ways to channel that rage. And again, I don't support the leak. I don't really care, though. If I was into a game and it got leaked, I would just not watch any spoilers, or I just would not let them ruin the game for me. I mean, I already knew how Red Dead Redemption 2 ended, and I still loved it. I knew how Dragon Quest 11 ended, and I loved it. So I've never been a guy that has spoilers ruin something for me. But he goes on to say, it's amazing how many people responding to this don't seem to get that devs at Naughty Dog, including people I just talked to, can both be infuriated by crunch culture and devastated that their hard work was just leaked. This action doesn't just hurt management, it also hurts workers. Well, Jason Schreier, of course, who has a literal career of leaking pertinent information about developers to the internet, it's just falling on deaf ears. You can see Jason, respectfully, people leaking to you is your whole career, so this feels overly credulous at best. To which he replies, I know you know the difference between people leaking details on workplace conditions, behind-the-scenes stories, and even game announcements, and people leaking massive spoilers for a game before it comes out. Organized, talk to a reporter, leave angry reviews at Glassdoor, anything that doesn't hurt the rest of your team like this. He goes on, Jason, it's called direct action, and you don't have to like it, but it does the job. Does it really? If a leak of The Last of Us 2 leads to better working conditions at Naughty Dog, I'll eat my PS4 controller. My heart goes out to the team that is watching their game get spoiled despite all the hard work and can't enjoy it. I'm with them as creatives, but Sony and Naughty Dog bears huge responsibility for letting it get this bad. He goes on to say, sure, but this is the thought process leads to. The people at Riot weren't thinking of the Starbucks employee when they threw the rioters weren't thinking of the Starbucks employee, then they threw the trash can through their window. How selfish of them. Nah, the Starbucks employees didn't spend years of their lives painstakingly designing the window. So he's trying to take his position, right? He goes, like leaking details to the press. Lawrence Soneg, performer, producer, quintessential gamer, transmedia cyber psychologist. No idea who Lawrence Sonntag is, but he completely BTFOs Jason here, probably before getting banned, going like, I don't know, dude. Did you give everyone cited in this article a lecture on unionizing? And this is his article from 2018, where he talks about all the upcoming projects and leaks about Diablo and Diablo Immortal and Diablo 3. So Jason Schreyer is, of course, being, of course, hilariously hypocritical here. You know, and he goes, except they did exactly that by talking to you and other sites about the bad work conditions. But unlike Rockstar and its immediate changes, all the articles were for naught. If they weren't, this leaker wouldn't have had the motivation. They had no choice. Schreier goes, nah, this is nonsense. You can't change culture of a workplace by flipping a switch. What's happening at Rockstar has been 18 months in the works and still is very much in the beginning stages. I don't know why this person leaked the game, but this rationale wouldn't cut it. I don't think, I mean, he's just getting, he's completely on the defensive. And you see your pitmaster, Broda, coming in with a kill shot too. Kotaku leaks Fallout 4 and Assassin's Creed Syndicate before they're ready. But this is wrong? Sounds like you're worried about further blacklistings is all. Jason Schreier is and always has been a complete hypocrite. Ain't this you, though? Leaked documents reveal that Fallout 4 is real, set in Boston. Leaked images reveal one of these two Falls games is Assassin's Creed. Next year's big Assassin's Creed is set up in a Victorian London. The hypocrisy is off the charts. And of course, everyone just replies to, once he blocks him. You see Lyle here, games journalism, pointing out all the times that he's leaked the exact same thing. He's leaked, and then his statement here, Jason Schreier, I don't feel bad for leakers. If you're going to leak something, at least do it through Kotaku so we can protect your identity. But it's terrifying that Microsoft can just hit a button and turn a $350 machine into a brick. Interesting. Well, The Last of Us 2 saga story train wreck continues into day 2. I'll be interested to hear what your comments are in the comment section down below. I think the game would have been far less negatively affected if the story was well received by those looking at it, if it had been getting positive reviews. So yes, leaking is bad, but also a terrible story is worse. And while you might have been able to fool a bunch of people into getting their money with a bad story the first time around, now all the people who are concerned about a bad story get to save their money. So I don't know. It's probably a good thing, I guess. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.